Hello and welcome to another Lincoln property blog, brought to you by Ben from Walters of Lincolnshire. This week we look at the property market report for Lincoln in Q1 of 2025. Understanding what is really going on in the Lincoln property market is key to cutting through the noise and seeing the true picture, both locally and nationally. Despite the near constant doom and gloom headlines predicting a housing crash since September 2022, the statistics tell a very different story. The British property market, and Lincoln in particular, is holding up remarkably well. So let's investigate those property market stats, starting with the lifeblood of the housing market, new properties coming on to the market. Nationally, 444,742 UK properties came onto the market in Q1 this year. Interesting when compared to 444,668 in the same period in 2024 and 407,946 UK properties in Q1 2023. New properties coming onto the market are a fundamental bellwether of the property market. Why? Well, in 2008, when we had a house price crash, the number of properties coming on the market in Q1 was over double that of 2007. This meant the number of homes on the market vastly exceeded demand, and consequently, as economics dictated, house prices fell. The balance of the number of houses that sell versus how many come onto the market determines what happens to house prices. Want an insider's tip to determine the direction of the Lincoln property market? Start by hopping onto Rightmove and running a search for properties currently for sale in Lincoln. Make a note of that number. Then run the same search again, but this time include properties that are marked as sold subject to contract. Jot that number down too. The difference between the two gives you how many homes are currently sold subject to contract. Now calculate the ratio, how many homes are available versus how many have sold subject to contract. If that ratio is climbing month on month, it suggests that confidence is returning and the market is picking up pace. If it's falling, demand is cooling and things may be slowing down. Want to get even more forensic? Break it down further by property type and bedroom count, detached, semi-detached, terraced, apartments, etc. Whatever fits your needs as a seller or buyer. It's a simple yet powerful way to read the pulse of the local market and to make sure you act at the right time. Next, looking at house sales nationally, 308,258 properties sold subject to contract in Q1 2025. However, the devil is in the data. Comparing with last year in Q1 2024, 289,178 were sold, and in the same period in 2023, the number was 276,482 properties sold. Next, I want to look at what is selling nationally by price band in Q1 this year. 34.6% of the properties that came on the market were in the up to £250,000 price band, yet 40.6% of the home sales were in this price band. 41.2% of the properties that came on the market were in the £250,000 to £500,000 price band, and an almost identical 41.1% of the home sales were in this band. 13.7% of the properties that came on the market were in the £500,000 to £750,000 price band, yet only 11.3% of the home sales were in this price range. 5.3% of the properties that came on the market were in the £750,000 to £1 million price band, yet only 3.9% of the home sales were in this band. Finally, 5.2% of the properties that came on the market were in the £1 million plus price band, yet only 3.1% of the home sales were in this band. Looking locally at the Q1 stats, starting with the number of properties in the Lincoln area that came onto the market in Q1 2025. 1,762 properties came onto the market in Q1 2025 in the Lincoln area. The average price of those Lincoln properties coming to the market was £273,992. The price range that saw the most listings was the £200,000 to £250,000 range, where 326 Lincoln area properties came onto market, followed by the £150,000 to £200,000 range, where 307 properties came onto the market. Now, looking at sales in Lincoln, 1,281 properties were sold in Q1 2025 in the Lincoln area. The average price of those Lincoln properties selling was £259,893. The price range that saw the most sales was again the £200,000 to £250,000 range, where 269 Lincoln area properties were sold. Typical first-time buyer properties are leading the recovery. Although economic turbulence remains, the UK property market is performing better than pre-pandemic activity levels. Some of you might have noticed with the national listings and sales figures mentioned above that the lower priced range of properties are performing better than the higher priced properties. For example, just over a third, 34.6%, of UK listings were £250,000 or below. Yet that price band accounted for just over 4 out of 10 house sales, 40.6%. Meanwhile, at the other end of the scale, in the 2 million plus price range, even though the numbers are very small, the difference is quite startling. 1.26% of listings were 2 million plus, but only 0.52% of sales agreed were in the same range. So what does this all mean for Lincoln homeowners wanting to sell in this market? Realistic pricing when you put your house on the market is everything. In the first quarter of 2025, there have been 224,750 price reductions on the 698,006 properties on the market, or 32%. In comparison, there were 198,682 price reductions in Q1 2024 on the 633,417 properties on the market, this being 31%. 243,602 price reductions in Q1 2023 on the 590,481 properties on the market, or 41%. 119,068 price reductions in Q1 2022 on the 424,796 properties on the market, or 28%. Are you buying or selling in Lincoln in the next 9 months? Here's what you need to know. It's nearly always better to price realistically from the outset while your property is fresh on the market than to start too high, miss the initial honeymoon period, and end up having to reduce. That reduction can lead potential buyers to ask, what's wrong with it? Yes, higher mortgage rates and broader economic uncertainty remain challenging. But for many Lincoln buyers who were pushed to the sidelines during the intense bidding wars of 2021 and 2022, today's slower-paced market offers time to breathe, plan, and strategize as we head into the traditionally busy post-Easter season. There's still healthy demand for well-presented homes, but if your asking price is out of sync with the current market, attracting serious buyers becomes harder. Getting the price right is crucial, but not always easy. While many sellers turn to the property portals for guidance, remember, those figures often reflect aspiration, not reality. As estate agents, we've got a broader toolkit. Recent sold prices, pounds per square foot, comparable homes, and crucially, an understanding of who is in the market right now for your type of home. If the price needs adjusting, it's better to do so quickly. And if you want to stand out, make sure your home looks like better value for money than the alternatives. If you're planning to trade up, now could be a smart time. Let us not forget UK house prices are 15.1% cheaper today in real terms after inflation than 3 years ago. Not in a rush to sell? Becoming a landlord might be a route worth exploring. Happy to chat about that too. Just bear in mind, if prices do soften over the next 12 to 18 months, it may take a few years to return to last year's levels. Whatever 2025 brings, any move should be based on your life plans, not just the property market headlines. If you'd like an informal, no pressure chat about your options, I'm always happy to pop round and give you the facts, no guff, just straight talking. Then you can decide what's best for you and your family. To ensure all our clients get the absolute best experience and a total marketing strategy as unique as their homes, we only list 20 properties per month. Our April and May market appraisal slots are now available to book. We ensure that you are always a name and not just a number with Walters.